Hi there, Julietta Skoog here. I'm the early years lead at Sproutable, and I am going to show you how to use the Early Childhood Educators tool cards from Positive Discipline. These are 52 tool cards that share positive discipline tools and principles, and they're great for preschool teachers and great for parents of young children. This tool card is one of my favorites, play. It really is a tool. It is the way that kids learn. And sometimes grown-ups think that play is separate from academics and that we need to introduce the academics really early on and have them be kindergarten ready, and they've got to be writing their names and learning their alphabet and all of those things. But remember, their brain development is growing through play. So when we provide lots of opportunities for them to play, especially in preschool, that actually sets them up for a strong academic future. So thinking about how we are using play to learn, right? To learn the alphabet, to learn writing, to learn fine motor, practice and writing, making sure that it's through play. And then it's not just like academics are here and then play is over here. And at home, play is the best tool of all to invite cooperation and to be connected. And this is the way, because this is the way that their brain is growing and this is the way that they learn and the way that they feel safe, when we can get into that creative space with them, that's when their lights turn on. That's when they start to really listen to us and are engaged with us. And so using play to invite them to be part of the dinner time experience and preparing for the meal, to help them move through their routine, like bath time, getting their pajamas on. We've got to engage with them through play. It's not just when we feel like being fun or when we feel like we're in a good mood or we're all getting along, really using it as a tool and a way to connect through the routine. In the classroom, often kids will have certain areas for play. And so remembering that, we want to cultivate their imagination, we want to cultivate their creativity. That is growing this part of the brain that they're going to need in school later on, right? They're going to really grow these parts of their executive functioning and their problem solving and all of that through their imagination. And so thinking about not being so rigid with what, particular toys can come over to another center, how they can add to their play. When we keep it really structured or adult-driven, that dampens their creativity and their potential for growth and for cognitive development. So the other piece is that, and I know I get trapped into this too, both at home and in preschools, are the toys that light up or make noises or have one function, and instead really leaning into the open-ended toys that allow kids to come up with their own ideas for play. It's the same reason why kids love sticks and love an empty cardboard box. So as tempting as those light up toys are, or just the one things, really lean into just very simple toys that are just, or materials and crafts that kids can really explore their own imagination around. One kind of play that kids love to engage in is the rough play. They love to wrestle with friends at school. At home, they love to get their hands on the new baby or wrestle with each other. And this can be really hard for teachers and for parents too. Partly because we have our own discomfort around conflict, or we don't want our kids to be, fighting. But knowing that kids still need that physical play. So creating clear boundaries, clear times and places where they can have that physical play, teaching kids to have consent around the play. So do you want to play this? Something that I ask kids often is, are you both still having fun? Do you both want to be playing this? Do you both feel safe? So really teaching into the consent part, letting them know they can play that game over here. They can play that game when they are both, fighting on the same team to rescue versus pretending to have weapons or guns or anything like that. You can set clear limits and boundaries around that. And then at home, especially if there's like a little sibling or a newborn, or it's the roughhousing with a pet, being really clear around the boundaries of that. You can play with me. We get to play this down in the playroom. in the mat area when we both want to play, but that is not a game that we play with a baby. That is not a game that we play with our dog or cat either. So just having really clear boundaries and firmness and follow through around that too. But other than that, let your kids play, let your students play, recognize how important it is for their growth, for their development, for their cognitive development, for their social emotional development. And it's also a fantastic tool to invite that cooperation and decrease power struggles. Thank you for watching, and definitely check out our other videos that explore the Positive Discipline Early Childhood Educator Tool Cards. They're so helpful for both parents and teachers. Real moments are learning moments.